Racing Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the podcast, or welcome back. I am Nick. So I've just literally sat away from the TV watching the Emilia Grand Prix. The weekend started off pretty shit for me. If you don't know, I'm a Ferrari fan. I was going to keep saying in every episode, just so you understand if you're new. It started off pretty shit for me. I was looking at what happened. I was watching the qualifying with my brother, and I was like, I could not believe it. The Aston Martins, they beat the Ferraris on medium tyres. I was like, oh, fuck. And Ferrari were then 11 and 12 qualifying. I was like, fucking hell. This is a fucking shit show. And then all last night and this morning, I just had these like invasive thoughts in my head, like almost like slagging off Fred Vasseur in my head, like what the fuck is going on with Ferraris? This is a shambles. All of this shit. I was like, get rid of Fred. He needs to go. Like, it's like when you have like a really bad fallout with your best mate. And he's like, oh, I can't be fucking dealing with this shit anymore. I've had to deal with this for too long. And now this. But that feeling subsided quite quickly today in the race, which was good. But it's scary that Ferrari hasn't got any qualifying pace at all. And that needs to be addressed because their race pace, which I'm going to get over in a minute, was fucking good. And again, the Williams race pace, qualifying pace, fucking really good. So it's been an interesting weekend, really. But the race is just finished, and I'll go over the top. I'll go over through all of them, actually. Fuck it. I'll go through all of the bloody team. All of the fucking team, all the grid. So we had Max in P1. He just seemed to just fly through. So on lap 1, he was behind Piastri, and within corner 1, Max made the move, landed it. Piastri was a little bit nervous by the looks of it. He kind of didn't carry out his speed. Max fell through, and he just kept the position pretty much the whole race. But I said to my brother, this is going to change. It's going to be a crash. And there wasn't crashes, but there were DNFs. So we had the first DNF of Esteban Ocon, and he had to like pull over on the side of the road. I don't know what the issue was. It was just, he kind of went over the curb. No, that was Kimi. But he just kind of like, this power just went and he just pulled over. So then the reshuffle of the cars, Lewis had a pretty decent strategy, which then made him feed up the grid. He started on hards, I believe, and Leclerc was on mediums. And it worked in his favour in that sense. Actually, no, that wasn't the case, opposite way round. And it just worked out quite well for them. And then race continued. Piastri had bad luck throughout the race, to be honest. His pit stops were pretty diabolical. 2 bad pit stops, bad placement. The luck was bad. And you were watching the race like, okay, this isn't his time. This isn't Piastri's race. But he did drive really well. And I thought at one point before the safety cars, I thought, actually, Piastri could actually, do this. But Max just different levels today. That Red Bull was very much like what we experienced in Suzuka. It kept the lead. It stayed well. I don't know why you really like that type of track, that Red Bull car, but it seemed to pick up really well. And we got Tsunoda getting a point in P10. So from 20th from the pit lane. So he had a pretty decent race too. I mean, he had 2 DNFs. So well done to Yuki. And I was times where I just thought, well, is Yuki going to defend a little bit more against Piastri here? Because he was coming through the grid and Piastri had a fresh set of hards and he was just kind of flying through the grid. And then he gets to Yuki and everyone's like, oh, this little shit's going to get in his way. And he didn't really do much at all. He didn't do fuck all, really. So Piastri passed him, but then again, another DNF. And this time it was with Kimi Antonelli. Same position as Esteban. He went over one of the curbs on the corners, and it just seemed, power just died, like literally going over it. I don't know what the fuck happened. And then he pulled over exactly the same spot as Esteban. I think this was about lap 46. But it went on for fucking ages. Like it was a yellow flag, virtual, then safety car. And it just took fucking ages. I think it took like fucking 5 laps. And that time, that's when things get a little spicy. All the grids now getting close together again. You're like, oh my God, like Piastri's P2, Lando's P3, with Lando pitted, Piastri didn't pit, and like Lando had fresher tyres, and then you had Max in P1, and you thought, this could go either way here. There could be a crash, Lando could win it, Piastri might fucking, you just didn't know. And that's what kept it pretty suspenseful. I think it was like 51, but still unfolding, so that was pretty good. And I actually would say the race itself was actually pretty enjoyable. Some people are probably gonna have mixed opinions about it, because I think Max got like 16 seconds ahead, or 6 seconds, 8 seconds ahead in the end. I can't remember, but he was leading it throughout by quite a lot of time. And take that away, there was stuff going on from pretty much from P20 all the way to fucking P2 constantly. It was P3. It was a very good race for that. And it was I think it was like corner 4, everyone was just overtaking there, which it kind of got semi-boring watching in some senses, but then you knew as soon as the camera panned to one of the drivers who was coming up to that corner, you knew there was going to be an overtake on. You look up the left of your screen, you see they're in DRS range, you think, this could go spicy. Alex Albon drove amazingly, did a really good job. He was in P3 for quite a lot of the time today, and then he ended up P5. And Leclerc and him had a little spout, I think about 5 laps to the end. And I don't quite get what Ferrari's logic was with this. This is a little bit dumb, if I do say so myself. Alex went for the overtake on the outside, and when he did that, And when he did that, he wasn't ahead on the curb. He was literally side by side. Leclerc didn't really give him much room, but he didn't have to. And then Alex went off the track, went across the gravel, rejoined, and then Lewis overtook Leclerc. And then about literally on the final lap, Ferrari like, okay, we want you to switch with Alex. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't think Alex actually had that. And the commentators were saying the same thing. I said to my brother, I was like, that I don't think that's gonna slide. And Ferrari switched positions on the last lap. They didn't bite the bullet. If you were Ferrari, you just bite the fucking bullet, because it looked like they were side by side, and it would have been in Charles Leclerc's favour. And then that then made Ferrari lose more points. And another thing I got annoyed with Ferrari, but I get it, but again, they need to think a little bit more strategically for the team at this current moment in time. Great to see Lewis get a P4 and did an amazing job from P12. He did fucking incredible. And Leclerc from 11th to 6th. Really good job from both the Ferrari drivers. And like the race pace looks really good. But why the fuck did they let Lewis overtook Albon? So it was Leclerc, Alex. No, it was Leclerc, Lewis, Alex. Lewis then overtook Leclerc. I understand he was on quicker tyres, but he was on quicker tyres. He could have defended against Alex and allowed Leclerc to stay in his position to get more points for the team. But instead of that, Ferrari didn't really say anything, which again, people are going to be like, that was really good. But as a Ferrari fan, it's for the team. I'm like, why are you doing this? This is a stupid move. Keep Hamilton behind Leclerc. Let him defend against Albon. Make Albon lose his tyres. And then maybe on the last lap, Lewis could overtake Leclerc. And then, let it race that way. But they didn't. It was about fucking 8 laps to the end or whatever it was. And you just knew that Albon was going to overtake Leclerc. His tyres were so much younger than Leclerc's, by like 12 or 13 laps. It's just like, what the hell are Ferrari doing? Yeah, they did not many people are going to talk about this, because they did a good race, and they came from 12th to 4th, and from 11th to 6th, which is fantastic. And there was well done Ferrari, but there were still things they need to polish up on, in my opinion. Like that was just silly. They lost out on some decent points there for Ferrari. They need everything they can fucking get. Unless Ferrari are looking at, we just take a few, look like we're showing an interest and like bothering this year, and we're going to put all of our cards in for next year. I kind of get that side of it. But I was just like, what the fuck are they doing? I just said to my brother, I was like, please, can we not see Lewis overtake Leclerc right now? At that moment, like eventually, Lewis should overtake him, because he had the quicker tyre and he was driving quicker. And, it's only right to be fair, but not then. Like, that was just a wrong time to do it. It jeopardised a few points for Ferrari. It could have looked way better. They didn't have to fucking give Alex a position back in hindsight. And it was just a silly move, in my opinion. But you kind of had the same thing with Lando and Piastri. But I'm glad McLaren didn't do it too soon. They did let them race, and it was a good overtake from Lando on Piastri. It was clean, it was precise. They were so close. The commentators thought they touched, but they didn't. And it was a great overtake from Lando. Lando did a really good job this weekend too. So did Piastri. But Piastri, I think his confidence got a bit knocked from Max for first lap with the overtake. And I think he's going to be umming and ahhing over that. But then we all know what Piastri's like. He doesn't really show his emotions at all. But no, Lando did a really, really superb job. And I don't want to be slagging off Lando today because he did a great job this race. He was a better McLaren driver. He showed quicker pace. He's just good. But at the same time, I'm going to defend Oscar. Oscar's luck this race was shite. It was like birds just kept shitting on his fucking shoulders, not his head. There was no luck getting involved. Normally, if you get shat on the head in England, we go, oh, if you get shit on the head by a seagull, that's good luck. Fuck me, I don't know why. Because where I live on the seafront, or on the seaside, or coastline, we want to fucking call it. People get shat on all the time. It's part of the fucking where we live. But apparently, the old, like, is it old wives' tale, or what you want to fucking call it? If you get shit on the head, it's good luck. But Piastri didn't get any shit on his head. He got all on his shoulders and on his feet and down his fucking blazer. All of that shit. But, yeah, a bit of a shame for Oscar, because it would have been nice to have seen him P2. And, like, I did also think McLaren in a bit of a silly situation, awkward situation, kind of like what Ferrari were going through, where you have Verstappen is going to win the race, obviously going to win the race. And then you have in the championship that Piastri's winning, but you've got Max there lurking. I would have thought maybe McLaren would have looked at it and gone, do you know what? I know Lando's got the pace, but these points could actually be really important for Oscar's championship here. And we don't want to make Lando not feel like he's not loved. He is. We all see it every day. Zach sucks him off constantly. But for the situation with Piastri, the lead is still quite a gap. It's not massively where it isn't. It's dropped a little bit now. But I would have thought they would have kept the position with Piastri ahead of Lando and then gone, all right, because we've had a bit of a shit weekend here with Red Bull and Red Bull have upped their game. We need to make sure we don't lose grip on Piastri getting the championship out of his fingers, losing it. So surprised they didn't call it. I mean, on the commentators were going, oh, he said he should switch him straight away. I get why they're saying that. I do. But a part of me is just like, if I'm like winning the championship, even if it's by 40 points, whatever it is, I want it to be as little of a change as we can make it, because it could actually come back to sting you in the ass at the end of the season or mid-season if Red Bull pick up their car and they get quick and they continue this form of what they had today, which I can't see happening. I think McLaren's going to be really quick in Monaco. I think the Williams are going to be pretty quick in Monaco. Ferrari's, their qualifying pace has been shocking, but they've got massive upgrades according to everyone in Ferrari that's coming in Spain. So we'll see from that, but I think it's going to be a battle between Red Bull, Williams. Mercedes aren't too bad, to be fair. We got George, didn't he? He qualified P3, but Williams are looking quick. Like, their upgrades they're doing to that car and whatever they're doing to the car, whether the drivers are doing or whether the mechanics are doing, they're doing an incredible job. And every week they seem to be getting better substantially, not little like increments, like quite big jumps each week. So Williams had done it and had an amazing weekend. We had Alex Albon in P5 again, and then we also had Carlos Sainz in P8. Again, Carlos Sainz got shafted as well with the pits. He was doing really well. I think he was like P4 at one point. I think he was just behind Alex near the first stint of the race before the first DNF or safety car. And then he pitted and it all kind of went tits up. And then some of the pit stops today was shite as well. Like 3.8, we were seeing a few of those and like a few wheels not coming off smoothly. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this has been a bit of a shit show really for pit stops. But I really enjoyed Emilia today. I really did. And I was surprised how good the Aston Martins looked at the beginning of the race. We didn't get any points in the end, which was not great for Fernando. He was having an amazing first stint. He was fourth place, looked strong. Nico Hulkenberg should get a mention too because he looked fucking strong too. Throughout the race, that kick didn't actually look too bad. But we got Bortoleto in 18th, pretty much 20th because the other two cars DNF with last place and didn't look great for him. And then you had Lance Stroll, he was just getting past with ease. But I'm also glad seeing Stroll not crashing everyone who drove past him today. So that was good. And, my opinion on Stroll slightly starting to fucking come back a little bit nicer. But I know what can happen in Canada, which is 2-3 races time. When is it? Let's find out. Yes, after Spain. So in 3 races time we've got Canada. So he'd probably do something a bit stupid at his home race. But no, it was a really good race weekend. I think Ferrari, they got a lot of work, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, especially with qualifying. Wasn't their strong point. And that's about it, really. I thought it was a good race, to be honest. There was some decent moments, decent overtakes. I think the overtake of the day was probably Max, I would have said, first lap. But then you've also got Lando doing a really good overtake on Piastri. That was a very good one as well. Leclerc's defending as well against Alex, like in the third stint of the race. Very good. Leclerc still got it. Lewis has got a bit of confidence back, but from what I've seen today, great stuff from Lewis. Amazing to see the Tifosi absolutely loving it, lapping it up. Annoying again with what they did with Lewis and Leclerc on the fucking 8 laps towards the end of the race. They could have held off Albon and on the last lap battled for that position, and Lewis would have got it because the car was so much quicker. But, you like to say you live and you learn versus Ferrari strategy we're talking about. They don't do much learning, but they do live. They have a good time. And, a lot of people kind of like let it be. But it's been years since they've won a championship. So I really hope, they do something next year. I don't think we got it this year because we're almost like a quarter way through the season. So, yeah, I'm kind of hoping next year's our year. But, yeah, we'll see. But anyway, thank you very much for listening to this podcast. That was my initial reaction to the race. Very good race, in my opinion. You may not have liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I did. There was stuff going on everywhere. A lot of pit stops, few DNFs, few safety cars. It kept the suspense throughout. It was a battle all throughout the grid. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good race. So thank you very much for listening, guys. And I hope you enjoyed the race too. And I hope you enjoyed the podcast. And if you did, check out my other podcast episodes. There's a few there I've got, I think like 18 or whatever, just talking about each thing I talk about. It could be to do with history of what's been going on in the past week of that time or the race or whatever. So if you enjoyed it, go check those out and drop me a follow if you want to. But anyway, thank you very much for listening, guys. Love you lots, and I'll catch you all hopefully again on the next one. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Red Line Racing.